Good morning, everybody. It's your boy D Mac. Let's talk. Um, Last night's game. Let's talk about that game. That game was crazy. Um, First thing and foremost, what I saw was Chris Middleton. He didn't live up to the hype. They called him a star at one point. The star Chris Middleton. He's gonna have to step up. Him and Drew Holiday, and they're gonna have to carry the team. When have Chris Middleton or Drew Holiday ever been known to carry a team? I can't recall any time they've been called upon to carry the team or to rally the team. It's Giannis's team. And Giannis, while he's definitely given a great effort, I don't feel like it's worth it. They're down two in the series. And it don't look like they're gonna come back because the problems keep on stacking onto the Bucks, and it seems like everything is falling into place for the Suns. So, is it gonna be beneficial, or is it worth it for Giannis to stay out there and to continue to damage himself and to hurt himself? I don't think so. I don't think it would be a good idea. Yeah, they're in the playoffs and they're right there at the cusp of a championship, but I don't think this is their year. And with Giannis hurt, I wouldn't chance it because it's a knee on a big man. So you think about how much weight is coming down on Giannis' knee every night, and he's not giving himself any time to recuperate or let it rest. And all it's going to do is cause him to be further damaged. That means further more time he's going to be out trying to recoup and rehabilitate that knee. And who's to say that that knee is ever going to be the same? This is one of the biggest issues right here. And I have to say, LeBron was right. And Chris Paul said, "Well, we all voted to come and play the games regardless. So we made the decision together." Not necessarily. It was a vote, and the majority won. But you still had those who didn't think it was a good idea. And now seeing how all of these players have went down with these injuries. Yeah, we do have injuries on the regular, but the guys that are being injured is the thing, and it comes from fatigue. We know that the body gets fatigued. You start to make bad decisions with your body and overexert something, or just plain flat out make a bad move and injure yourself. It happens all the time. So when you've been through a season like this, or you went through the bubble last season, then you're going through this season and it's back to back like that, and guys are getting hurt. I think sometimes we have to sit back and know when to um, sit our players down. And this where having a deep bench comes into play. This is where having a deep bench is so important, because when your main guys go down, you need to have somebody coming in off that bench that can replace that person. I'm not saying that they have to match the numbers that that star would get, but they at least need to get close to it, at least three quarters of what that star does. That's the type of quality player you have to have on your bench. But see, now that the time that we're living in order to have a player of that caliber sitting on your bench is just not going to happen, because this AAU style is coming in. And like you say, if a kid goes to an AAU and he's not getting any play, he can bounce to another team. If that guy's on an AAU team and he's upset with the coach, or anybody on the team, he has a problem, he can easily bounce to another team. This is why we're starting to see this happen all the time in the NBA now. If you notice, LeBron bounce around from team to team. If he's not satisfied here, he's going to bounce over there. And then he's going to bounce over there. And LeBron's not the only one. Kyrie, if he's not satisfied here, he's going to bounce over there. Then he's going to bounce over there. And the same thing with KD. If he's not satisfied, he's going to bounce here, bounce there, bounce all around. because this is that AAU mentality. And I stated before in a previous video that this AAU mentality is slowly creeping into the NBA, and it's creeping into the NBA in all aspects, because you got these guys with the mindset that, hey, if you don't give me what I want here and you don't accommodate me with everything I think I should have, then I'm just going to bounce and go to another team. So this is where the NBA is. This is where the NBA is right now. There's no thing as such as I want to be loyal to my team and I want to build up this organization. This is the mindset that players used to come in with. We're going to build up this organization. Not we're going to go and piece together a championship squad, but we're going to build a dynasty. No one's trying to build a dynasty anymore because building a dynasty takes time. And that means a dynasty usually consists of family and generations, and that's long term, passing down the mantle of winning, passing down the style that you use to create your success. All of these things come with it being a dynasty, and that comes with players being together and having a mindset to stay in one place and make that place great instead of just going to a great place. So when you have this AAU mindset in your stars and they'll jump from team to team and have no loyalty to anyone, only thing they have loyalty to is the money, then the NBA is going to end up being just like this. And then you're going to end up with guys like Giannis who try to be loyal to the Bucks, who just need one extra piece, man. One more piece in there with Giannis, and Giannis will have a powerhouse team. I say like a Westbrook. If there's a Westbrook or a what's my man name? Dang, I can't think of his name right now, but I'll come back to him in a second as soon as it hit me. But he plays for the Clippers now. He played with Kawhi. He's a veteran point guard. Rondo, that's it. Rajon Rondo. If Rajon Rondo was in Milwaukee with Giannis, it would be a different story. Yeah, Rajon Rondo is not going to give you 30 points, but what Rajon Rondo is going to do, he's going to facilitate. He's going to make the lane open. He's going to get Giannis freed up a lot of times and give him some good passes to where he don't have to be banging and fighting down low in the paint and re-injure his knee like he did last night. Because we seen what happened. Game one, Giannis came in strong, just like the regular Giannis came in strong and hard. And I told people, yeah, Giannis look good now, but wait till the second quarter. He's going to start to fade as that knee starts to hurt. Because you come out there first, that knee is wrapped up. They probably done shot you with cortisone shot and all that stuff. So it's feeling good in that moment. But when you start running up and down that court and jumping up and down with that big old frame that Giannis has, that cortisone shot is going to wear off and you're going to start to feel that cartilage rubbing. I mean, that those bones rubbing against bone because the cartilage is worn away, or the ACL that's been torn a little. All of these things are going to be re-injured whenever you have Giannis out there playing in a stressful situation like this. And I feel like he's doing it in vain, because they're not going to win this series. It would be different if the games came down to about 2 or 4 points apiece, but they're getting beat by 10 or more each one of these games. So if Giannis is the head of my team and he's the star of my team, am I going to continue to play him in a series that I know we can't win? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit Giannis down. I'm going to let whatever his backup is play. Oh, Lopez. I'm going to let Lopez brothers play out the rest of the daggone series, and whatever they can do, they can do. But I'm not going to continue to put Giannis out there and jeopardize possibly our next season or even having him come back, period. Because like I said, what if he goes out there and he re-injures that knee to where it'll never be the same again? We've seen this happen time and time again. Great players have went out there and they hurt themselves during the playoffs, but they still try to play through the pain, and They never played the same again after that. So we have to take this into consideration. As fans, do we really love Giannis enough to be like, hey, bro, sit down? Go ahead and take a back seat on this one, man, because this is not your year, bro. You're close, but start thinking about next season because this season is done, man. I wouldn't put Giannis back out there, no matter how mad he got. Like, look, bro, sit down and chill. We'll go ahead and take this one. Go ahead and take this loss like a big man. But all the while, we're looking for that piece to go along with you, man, because next year, when we end up right back here, which we will, oh, we're going to have that guy that's going to be able to take us over in case you get hurt or something else happens, because they put it in Middleton's hand. They put it in Drew Holiday's hands. They put it in Lopez brothers' hands. But those guys aren't it. They're not the stars. They're not the ones who get paid the hundred millions of dollars because they don't have the capabilities or probably don't even have the drive of a Giannis or a anybody else who's at that level of pay. So I'm like this. Who knows? They might just have another COVID protocol. Somebody else might have to go and sit out because of the COVID protocol during this series. We do have the Delta strain that is rising up and is starting to flare back up, and the numbers are slowly increasing across the United States. And we see that Chris Paul was stuck in a COVID protocol last series. So it's not out of the realm of possibility because we see that people come in contact with others all day, every day. Some things just can't be avoided. And COVID-19, even with all the safeguards that we have in place, it just can't be avoided. So I'm not going to risk my franchise player uh, just to make a good series. I'll let us go. I'll let them go ahead and sweep us in four, and then we'll go home and we'll start over again right there and start looking for those pieces that we need to make that run for the next year. I know it's exciting. I know they're like right at the cusp and they can see the championship, but it's not theirs this year. It's the Suns. Yeah, it's Devin Booker's, it's Chris Paul's, it's DeAndre Ayton's. Those guys right there. And like I stated before with DeAndre Ayton, shout out to you, brother. He's doing what I said that he should do in this series. He knows that Giannis is hurt and he's attacking hard because Giannis can't come 100% on Ayton. If he comes 100% on Ayton, that knee is definitely gonna blow out because that's two big men banging down low. And you know one thing about two big men is those knees are gonna hit each other. They're gonna bang each other. They're gonna get tangled up and all types of stuff. Might just land on top of each other. And that's a lot of weight because those guys are at least 230, 240 pounds. So if I was DeAndre Ayton, I would continue to go harder and harder every single time Giannis try to come in the game and make something happen. That's the game plan. You find out their weakness and you attack. There's it's not fair, but everything isn't fair. All is fair in love and war, and this is a war. So yeah, let Giannis sit down. Let him chill. Let him recuperate. Go ahead and play out this series and let the cards fall where they may. But don't jeopardize this man's career just because you're right there and you can see it and you're not willing to understand that this is not your year. Another thing, when I was talking about the COVID, it seems like COVID is becoming kind of a weapon. Well, it's always been weaponized. They're using COVID as a weapon to do a lot of things across the United States and to use COVID as the excuse for a lot of things. I had my vehicle to be in the shop for about 2 months, and they tried to blame it on COVID. COVID ain't have nothing to do with that. But yet and still, COVID is going to play a big part in a lot of things that are taking place. So you have 3 Olympians who've been sent home for COVID protocol, so they're not going to be able to participate in the Olympics. But I say again with that COVID protocol, who's to say that it's not set up or rigged or fixed? Because we see all of the other things that they are doing in the Olympics to put obstacles in the way of certain people. So why wouldn't they use the COVID protocol? If they don't win, if they don't want a certain person to win a certain event, guess what? Oh, you tested positive. You're gonna have to sit in the quarantine. It's a real easy excuse, and there's really no way that people can prove otherwise because they don't have the know-how to do those things. So you just got to accept what's being said. Oh, you positive for COVID, so you have to sit in quarantine and you can't perform in this event. So then they're going to go forth. Like I was saying in my other video, there are so many ways that they sabotage these athletes, and we can't prove otherwise, so we just have to go along with the narrative, or we sit back and not believe it, kind of like I do most of the time. So we're going to have to look at these things, because now you got Tyson Fury, who tested positive for COVID, so-called, and so that fight is postponed. But is it really postponed because he tested positive for COVID, or is it postponed because of other reasons? You see what I'm saying? This COVID thing is really, really becoming a weapon, and people don't know whether to believe it or not because it's being abused so much. I don't know, and I'll tell people, I don't know. There's so many theories out here about COVID. There's so many speculations on what's going on with COVID. I don't believe anybody. And I'm not going to believe anybody because there's been way too many stories that are filled with holes and very inconsistent about this virus. And they still don't have any concrete evidence about this virus. A lot of the things that they're saying about this virus is based on speculation. And I'll go back to when HIV first came out and all of the asinine things they were saying and doing about HIV. It took about 5 years before we really got an understanding and a grasp on what HIV was. But it had been too late. It had already taken out so many millions of people by then. And even then, when HIV came out, who did they blame it on? Africans. They blame it on everybody except for Americans. Oh, an African was sleeping with a monkey, and this is where disease was contracted. Oh, a Asian was eating a bat, and this is how we got the COVID. Man, all of these lies and all of these fabricated rumors about this, people need to step back and really read for themselves and really look into things for themselves, because common sense will show you that a lot of these things they're telling you are lies used to guide you and used to weaponize a virus against the people so that they can capitalize on it and control you better. But that's going off into something totally different. I'm going to get back to my topic, and then I'm going to get back out of here. So they're using COVID um, as a weapon, but it doesn't even matter at this point because our people see and understand things for what they are. And if I was Giannis, I would sit down and say, okay, I plan to do this. And you write out your vision, you make that vision plain, and you let your team know, hey, I'm not going to risk damaging myself, permanently hurting myself, and making my stock go down, trying to chase after a title that is not ours this year. Giannis, I salute you, man, for your effort. I salute you for your power. I salute you for your resilience and everything. But it's not worth it this year. My son said that it's not Giannis's year. He's a basketball player. He loves game. He knows the game, and he's been watching. Jeremiah, I think you're right, son. This is not Giannis's year. Giannis should just sit back and chill. Let the Suns go ahead and get this one because they're too powerful anyway. Because I feel like if Giannis wasn't hurt, they still wouldn't have enough guns to be able to take out the Suns because they just have too much firepower right now. And a confident on DeAndre Ayton is not going to be denied, not by a hurt Giannis. So salute to everybody. Giannis, the best luck to you, but the Suns got this one. This is your boy D Mac. Thank everybody for coming on and checking me out. I'll holler at y'all later. And you know what I always say: sticks and stones may break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.